Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot, your ultimate destination for celebrity, political, music, sports, all kinds of crazy tarot readings. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. And in this video, we are going to take a mystical journey into the lives of your favorite stars through the cards. This reading is actually a reader request. It was one of my awesome subs asked me to take a look at Russel Brand. Now, we all know Russel Brand has been going through a lot of stuff lately. There's a lot of neat articles that are coming out about him. One of them is Russel Brand, and I'll put it in the description of the video. One of them was Russel Brand. I know I was a jerk, but my wife and my children changed me. So very cool. I found another article about his relationship with Tom Cruise, which was really interesting because they worked on Rock of Ages together, and apparently Russell Brand wanted to be a part of the organization that Tom Cruise is a part of, and was rejected. So I thought that was kind of odd because I didn't think that they really rejected a lot of people like that, especially people that are so self-aware. So there is some suggestion that Russell Brand started his own kind of weird CULTY kind of thing. But to each his own. We'll take a look at it. I think the reinvention of him as a political pundit, which let's face it, he really is curious and interesting. And as the Chinese say, may you live in interesting times. So I have a really cool deck to look at this. But what we're going to look at is, was he a self-described jerk? Was he a jerk? And is he a reformed jerk at this point? Also, my viewer had requested to know if he has made some powers that be, the pentaverate, for those of you that have seen So I Married an Ex-Murderer, if he has made those powers that be very angry, and that's why all of this happens. So let's take a look at it. As always, please remember my readings are only for entertainment purposes only. They're my own psychic downloads and impressions, and you should do your own research before you commit to any decision or idea that someone may have on YouTube or Facebook. So also during the month of October, I have a special on my private readings. I have 10% off all of my private readings. I don't have many openings for group parties. I have a lot of parties that I'm doing this month. But if you are desperate to either have a virtual or in-person party with me and have some of your friends over and do some cool psychic stuff at your house for the spooky season, you can always email me at fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com and I can see what I do. We are bogged down on the weekends a lot of the time with haunted theater, which one of my kids is in, and also band. So we're scrambling around. We're doing really well, but I will run another sale as we get closer to the holidays. And also as we get closer to the holidays, I do have gift card option if you have to get a clutter-free gift for someone who may be into this kind of thing. So to continue joining me and all these awesome subs in this community and exploring the stars and the cards, please like, share, and subscribe. This way you can stay tuned for more amazing videos with me and sharing my favorite part of the day. I love this. It's my favorite part of the day. I love reading tarot. I love doing psychic work with people. I love helping people. And this is just one way that I can do that. So let's go take a look at Russell Brand, who there's going to be a lot of editorial on here because I am quite fond of him. I think he is a neat character. I think the character that he created way back when, I guess in the 90s, I thought was, outlandish and zany in the sense of Howard Stern and the whole kind of shock jock thing. So we'll take a look at this and we'll have some fun with it. I am using today, I have out my Madame Clara 5-cent tarot. This is available on Etsy. It is not one of my decks. Comes with an amazing box, a really nice box. And it is beautiful cardstock. Nice weight to the cards. It's a little bit funky. There's also a companion Two Penny Oracle. This is, again, another fun deck, kind of works in concert with it. And I had to get it because I love elephants, and there is an elephant on it. So here's our Two Penny Oracle and our Madame Clara Five Penny Tarot. So let's take a look. And the first question we're going to ask, was Russel Brand a jerk? Was he a jerk? Did fame go to his head? He was basically raised by wolves. I mean, he loves his mother, but he very similar to most of the Gen Xers. You know, we were raised by wolves. We were 40 years old at 6 years old. So somebody sent me a meme the other day. It was like, we all started smoking before we were double digits. Yeah, that's not incorrect. So was Russell a jerk? Was he a jerk prior? This is after celebrity hit him. He had some money. Did he become a cocksure jerk face? Ace of Cups. Absolutely. There he is. In reverse, Ace of Cups. The Four of Needles in reverse. That's our Four of Swords. That is running amok. The Ace of Matches. Hermit card. And the Universe. And then we're going to do Heart of the Matter up here and under the surface. So what do we have here, Mr. Brand? So the Ace of Cups in reverse. And again, I'm focusing on his post-celebrity status as he was entering the stratosphere of his career, as he was picking up some speed, getting involved with MTV, becoming that Russel Brand character that he had developed. So the Ace of Cups, yeah, he was all in it for himself. He was just going to dig deep and be all in it for himself. He really wanted to maximize his own experience. The Four of Needles in reverse. This is not resting, not recovering. And this can be a lot of the time doing some negative things to yourself, overindulgence, overdoing it, not listening to your body. The Four of Needles or Four of Swords, when it's upright, is you should listen to your body. You should recover. You maybe had a surgery. You maybe had an injury or something like that. Could even be like a psychic injury or a mental injury. But this is not letting the body recover. This is just kind of running on empty. And we have that Ace of Matches as well. So not only was he not listening to the mind and the body, but creatively, he was throwing everything at the wall. He's throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall and just being as outrageous as possible to try and keep leveling up. The Hermit. At some point, he sat down, had a hard look at himself, whether this was during his recovery, I can't say, but this was when he had the hard look at himself. And we go into that thoughtful process and go, is this really how and why I want to live? So many times people with substance issues, addictive issues, they will look at the I don't want to live like this. They won't look at the why I don't want to live like this. Like what is on the other side of that? So and I'm not an expert on those types of conditions, but this was his come to Jesus, come to whomever you ascribe to. This was his moment of clarity where he said, I can't continue to exist like this because it is a rootless, themeless kind of lifestyle that he was living, which is very, very interesting. The Universe card is the ending. When we have our major arcana, the Fool card 0 to the final card 22, this we have the Universe in this deck, which is a 24th card. And this is where everything opens up. So we complete our passage from Fool to Judgment conclusion. Once we finish that major arcana and we get to the end and we get to the world, and we are complete. Our process is complete. We move on with this particular deck to the universe, where the universe opens and gives us more opportunity. So here we get more opportunity. Let's take our opportunity and pull one of the oracle cards and see what that opportunity the universe offered him was going to be. Let me pull right from the center. The opportunity from the universe was distracted. Okay, so this is to bring him back. This is a reminder to bring him back to a focus, to bring him back to olfaction, sleuthing, and looking at the different the different things that had eluded him before. So that's very curious. We're going to put those up there so we don't mix them up with the tarot cards. Under the surface, with this process of celebrity and becoming Russell, the Wheel of Fortune was there. So it was a fortuitous experience for him to become a celebrity. It was the gods' fate that was putting that in place for him, and it gave him the opportunity to learn from this and then become this truth teller up here, to not be distracted by the substances, the glitz, the glam, all the fun stuff, but to get very, very focused on the details and sleuthing. I think it's very curious that olfaction has sleuthing there, sniffing out the things that we need to know. So that's very curious. So on his dominant energy, we have the Four of Cups above, which the Four of Cups, when it is upright, it's kind of boredom and kind of, what are we doing here? I got to look for something different. I'm curious. I'm in a good spot, but I want to find more. I want to sink my teeth into something more. When we go into the reverse, that is a vacuum of that something more. So he's looking for something of substance, something of meaning, which, if this is a life path choice, very, very nice life path choice. Walking away from, and this isn't to say that all of Hollywood is vapid and vacant, but walking away from the facade of excitement, the set work, if you will, of Hollywood, and becoming something more in tune with good and the universe is very curious. So let's see if he is a reformed critter. Did he reform as a result of this enlightenment during his career? Did he reform? And again, I just want to say, we're looking at his energetic self versus his terrestrial self right now. So all things aside, judgments on him for the accusations, until there is more to that, I want to kind of stay away from that hot topic. We did do a pay-per-view on him because it's a bit too hot of a topic for me to do safely on social media platforms. So we could get in a lot of trouble for certain things. So, this isn't to discount anyone's experience with him or anyone that has accused him of anything. This is just looking at him energetically. So what we have here, has he reformed himself? We have our Six of Cups, not quite. I think there were other components that were kind of plugged into play here. So if we are obnoxious, excited, and very demonstrative and trying to be funny and throwing that comedy spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, seeing what people are going to laugh at and taking those risks. I don't know if that lesson is exactly learned. We have the two of needles here. The intellect is being sharpened, but it is not quite sharp enough. And that's not to say that he is not incredibly well versed and well researched on the topics that he talks about. I do think that he is. So this is the decision to go into another aspect. He's still funny. He still does infuse his politics and his statements on the course of the world with some amount of humor, which makes it very easily digestible by a lot of people. But this diversion, he's not quite sure which way he's going at this point, developing into a much more solidified picture. So is he in the process of changing from the young, wet behind the ears, jerky comedian who tried to kind of throw all this comedy spaghetti at the wall? Yes, we're still working toward that and firmly planting our feet. At the point that we firmly plant our feet, we have this situation that comes up, the Knight of Buttons in reverse. This is pulling the foundation out. So this really, he was rethinking for a minute how he was going to proceed with this, his career, that is, how he will proceed with it. It has obviously, the situation, the accusations have greatly unseated him, and it's become a major, major focus for him. But he is moving through that process and through the accusations very very systematically. There is a certain amount of uh, panic and anxiety over this. So it's not, when we have the Eight of Wands in the upright, we have kind of like a full steam ahead bullet train from point A to point B. When we get that Eight of Wands in reverse, sometimes we have these starts and stops of energy, which can be very jarring and disconcerting to any individual. So, it's kind of like we'd take 3 steps forward and then we're going to hang out here for a little while. And then we'll take 5 steps forward and then we're going to hang out here for a little while. So there's a lot of that going on, and he cannot proceed with what he's doing until this situation has resolved. Under the surface, he really does. His intention is to be renewed. His intention is to be a different person, an evolved terrestrial person at this point in his career. So I do think that he is moving in a right direction, notwithstanding the accusations, of course. Um, he will stand firmly on the foundation that he is building. He is going to stand very, very firmly on this. And I do think he will, I don't want to say fight back, but I do think he is going to push very strongly against this and against the situation that's at hand. So we're just going to pull one of these oracle cards because I do want to see conscientiousness, ethicality as well. Ethicality is in that card. Again, this is the 2-penny oracle companion deck for the Madame Clara 5-cent tarot deck, available on Etsy. I have no vested interest in that. I just love this deck. So yes, I think he is really going to push forward with that. The behaviors that he exhibited were in tune with the person that he was, and now he is a very different person. So and again, that's not to suggest that if one changes their life that they shouldn't be responsible for crimes they committed. I'm not saying that at all. So let's take a look and see if there is a much larger cabal that is doing this. If there's something much larger at play here, is this someone or some entity that is pushing to either silence or quiet him? Sorry, I think that was my Discord. Chariot. The unknown. Oh my, 10 of Cups. 8 of Needles and Strength. My. The Tower is upside down. And the King of Needles, I am going to say yes. I do think that there is an entity that is at play. I think there is some put together for this. That's going to be a new thing that I say, a put together. So the Tower, the dominant energy up here, the Tower in reverse is usually an action. When it's in reverse, it's kind of a series of events that result in a not so great ending. It can be cataclysmic, volcano, hurricane. I almost said hurricane. Hurricane can be anything like that. So when it's in reverse, it really is a series of actions, a purposeful series of actions to affect something. Chariot moving forward to the unknown. This is our hidden entity here. And they are trying to make their peace. So moving forward through the unknown to make peace, this 10 of Cups, they want to have this done. And we've got the 8 of Needles in reverse, which is being bound up, being locked in. And this is trying to get him out of his out of the platform, get him out of the human eye, if you will. And Strength here is patience. They're just waiting for it to happen. Under the surface, Knight of Needles. This is a man who lies. This or an entity that lies. This is someone who lies about it. So, yes, I do think that we have some other things at play in here. And the final question from my viewer: is he a true narcissist? Is Russel Brand a true narcissist? Hangman. That is a recovery. That's a recovery. Ace of Needles in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. The Knight of Matches or Wands and the 4 of Matches. So is he a narcissist? He is a recovered narcissist. Well, I know according to H.G. Tudor, narcissists don't recover. They will always have some element of that. But here is the Hangman. This is someone who has examined their behaviors and their inconsistencies and their inequities with others, and they really do try to make correction to that. Is he still a work in progress? Yes, we have the Ace of Needles here. So he's still a work in progress. He still may bristle at someone suggesting that. So I hope he doesn't watch this video. The Hermit in reverse, he is working with others and relying on their intelligence and information to better himself. And the Knight of Matches is, again, working together with a group to learn, to understand, and to get to that 4 of Matches, which is our home card, our happiness card, our elevation. That is the card in the Rider-Waite that depicts the chuppah with the married couple underneath and everyone celebrating. We want to get to this point. So he is a work in progress, absolutely. 2 of Matches, he still has a lot to go. He's still working with someone and he still has a long way to go. So whoever his gurus or doctors or therapists are, they're still doing it. Judgment in reverse. The situation that came up became very problematic for him because it did interfere with this progress moving forward, because I think he has done the work to kind of resolve anything that he may have done outside of the lines of correctness. And now he's being forced to redo that. He's kind of being forced to redo that in a public fashion. So, it is what it is. I'm saying this very matter of factly. I'm not picking a side here. So what can he do to move forward smoothly, to live the best life possible? What can he do to do that? What can he do? How do we move forward? How do we move forward? So we've got Ace of Matches in reverse, Queen of Buttons, 4 of Needles in reverse, Death in reverse, 8 of Buttons in reverse, Two of Needles, and the World in reverse. He's got to not try to change anyone's perspective right now. He's got to ride this out. He's just got to kind of live with it and make do at this point. So, the Ace of Matches, there is no resurrection and moving forward until this is resolved. He needs to just stand still, plant his feet very firmly on the ground, and allow things to take their course. And that's not to say, not work on things, not to make an effort, but he just needs to plant his feet and try to not take 5 steps forward. The Four of Needles in reverse, that is our rest and recovery card. If you remember, when it's in the reverse, we're not resting, we're not recovering, and that is causing him to not be able to move forward and see the 8 of buttons here, see the work that needs to be done. So this is really, we need to pause so that we can reassess. So if he was jumping across a stream on stepping stones, I would say stop, look around, make sure that your next step is not going to trip you up. The opinions of him under the surface, he's afraid this is going to be a stain that will never wash off. But the Two of Needles, there are things that he can do to move forward. He just needs to make sure that he stops for right now. So that's all I have to say about that. And I hope you did enjoy that. So I did want to stay away from Russel Brand when all of the subject matter was very, very hot, when all the accusations first came out, because I did want to be respectful of anyone who is telling their story or saying that untoward things had happened to them. So I didn't want my reading to be misconstrued. I hope this one was not. Again, this was a reader request. And I love reader requests. So if you want to request a reading or you have a suggestion, I did just start a Discord. I can put an invitation to that as well. I'll do a community post as well. And people can jump in the Discord and we can talk about tarot. When my class is scheduled, I will have a private one for the class so that my students will be able to ask questions. So if you're going to ask questions about your tarot study, please reserve those for a little bit longer. We're getting a few extra things set up, extra goodies for you guys. But thank you so much for being here. Again, all readings are 10% off for the month of October. I will carve out some time with you. I want to get as many readings in as possible this month and take care of all you guys because you always take care of me. So thanks so much. And everybody have a great